The Girl Who Never Stopped. Maya's story. Maya was a quiet girl. She lived in a small town far from the city. The town was old and simple. There were small houses, dirt roads, and green fields. Maya lived with her mother and her grandmother. They had a small house. It had 2 rooms and 1 window. The house was old but clean. Maya's mother worked at a local market. She sold vegetables every morning. She woke up before the sun. She worked all day until her feet hurt. Maya's grandmother was old and could not work. She stayed home and looked after Maya. They were poor, but they were together, and that made them strong. Maya was 10 years old when she found the book. It was an old English book. It was lying in the street near the market. Someone had dropped it. Maya picked it up. She opened it slowly. She could not understand the words. The letters looked strange and beautiful. "What language is this?" she asked her grandmother. Her grandmother looked at the cover. She said, "It is English. English is the language of the world. If you can speak English one day, many doors will open for you." Maya looked at the book for a long time. She did not understand it, but she wanted to. She kept the book under her pillow that night. She touched the cover before she slept. She made a silent promise. "One day I will understand every word in this book." Maya went to school every day. The school was small. There were many children and only 2 teachers. There were no computers. There were no tablets. There were only old desks and a blackboard. But Maya loved school. She sat in the front row every day. She listened to every word. She wrote everything in her notebook. Her notebook was almost full. She had only a few pages left, so she wrote small to save the space. Her teacher was called Mr. David. Mr. David was a kind man. He had a warm smile and a loud laugh. He noticed Maya. He noticed how hard she worked. He noticed how she never stopped asking questions. One day after school, he called her name, Maya. "Stay for a moment." Maya stopped. She was nervous. "Did I do something wrong?" she asked. Mr. David smiled. "No," he said. "You did something right." He reached into his bag. He pulled out a small red book. He placed it on the desk in front of her. It was an English dictionary. "This is for you," he said. "Learn 10 words a day, just 10. And in 1 year you will know 3,000 words." Maya held the dictionary carefully, like it was something precious, because to her it was. "Thank you," she said. Her voice was quiet, but her eyes were bright. From that day, Maya carried the dictionary everywhere, to school, to the market, to bed. Every morning before breakfast, she opened it. She chose 10 new words. She wrote them in her notebook. She said them out loud 10 times each. Her grandmother heard her every morning. "What are you doing?" grandmother asked. "I am learning the language of the world," Maya said. Her grandmother laughed softly. "Keep going, little one," she said. "Keep going." Life was not easy. Some days there was no food in the house. Maya went to school hungry. Her stomach made noises in class. She felt embarrassed, but she still sat in the front row. She still wrote everything down. Some nights the electricity went off. The house went dark. Maya could not read, so she sat near the window and used the moonlight. She read by the moon. She was that determined. When Maya was 13, something hard happened. Her mother got sick. She could not go to the market anymore. She had to rest in bed. The family had no money coming in. There was no food. There was no medicine. Maya was scared. She had never seen her mother so weak. She held her mother's hand every night. She said, "Do not worry. I will take care of us." Her mother looked at her with tired eyes. You are just a child, she said. Maya shook her head. I am your daughter, she said, and I will not give up. Maya went to the market the next morning. She took her mother's place. She set up the vegetables. She learned the prices. She learned to talk to the customers. She smiled even when she was tired. She sold everything by noon. She came home with money in her hand. She placed it gently on her mother's bed. Her mother started to cry. She pulled Maya close. She held her for a long time. You are so strong, she whispered. Maya worked at the market every day after school. She worked on weekends too. She was tired all the time, but she never stopped studying. Every night before sleeping, she opened the dictionary. 10 words. Every morning before the market, she read the old English book she had found years ago. She was beginning to understand it now, slowly, paragraph by paragraph, word by word. Her English was growing. Her mother recovered after 3 months. She was still weak, but she could walk. She came to the market one morning. She stood back and watched Maya work. She watched her daughter speak clearly. She watched her smile at customers. She watched her count the money with confidence. She had tears in her eyes. When Maya saw her, she ran over. You should be resting, she said. Her mother shook her head. I came to see my daughter, she said, and I am so proud of what I see. When Maya was 15, a new teacher came to the school. Her name was Miss Chen. Miss Chen was young and full of energy. She had studied in a big city. She had come back to her hometown to teach. Miss Chen taught English. On her first day, she asked the class a question. Can anyone speak English for me? The classroom was silent. No one moved. Then Maya slowly raised her hand. The other children stared. Miss Chen smiled. Please, she said. Maya stood up. She took a breath. She said in a clear voice, My name is Maya. I am 15 years old. I live in this town. I love to learn. English is my favorite subject. I have been studying it for 5 years, using a dictionary and an old book I found in the street. The class was very quiet. Then Miss Chen clapped her hands. Slowly, the whole class began to clap too. Miss Chen walked over to Maya. She looked at her carefully. Who taught you? She asked. Maya thought for a moment. My teacher gave me a dictionary, she said. My grandmother gave me encouragement. My mother gave me determination. And I taught myself the rest. Miss Chen nodded slowly. She said nothing for a moment. Then she said one word. Remarkable. After that day, Miss Chen and Maya worked together every afternoon. Miss Chen gave Maya extra lessons. She gave her harder books to read. She taught her how to write essays. She taught her how to have real conversations. Maya absorbed everything like water into dry earth. She was hungry to learn. And now someone was feeding that hunger. When Maya was 17, Miss Chen told her about a competition. It was a national English-speaking competition. Students from all over the country would compete. The prize was a full scholarship to university. Maya read the information 3 times. Her hands were shaking. A scholarship. University. These were words she had only dreamed about. I want to enter, she told Miss Chen. Miss Chen smiled. I was hoping you would say that. They practiced every day for 2 months. Maya stood in front of the mirror and spoke. She practiced her pronunciation. She practiced her eye contact. She practiced her breathing. Some days she felt ready. Some days she felt terrified. On those days, she went home and looked at the old English book under her pillow. The book she had found in the street when she was 10. The book she had promised to understand one day. She could read every word of it now. Every single word. And that reminded her of how far she had come. The day of the competition arrived. Maya's mother woke her up early. She had ironed Maya's best dress. She had made a small breakfast. She brushed Maya's hair. They did not have much, but that morning felt full. "You are ready," her mother said. Maya looked in the mirror. She thought about everything. The hungry days, the dark nights reading by moonlight, the market mornings before school, the dictionary under the pillow. All of it had brought her here. She was ready. The competition hall was the biggest room Maya had ever been in. There were hundreds of people, students from every part of the country. They all looked confident. They all looked well-dressed. Some had coaches with them. Some had practiced for years with professional teachers. Maya sat quietly. She held the old book in her lap. She breathed slowly. When it was her turn, she walked to the stage. The lights were bright. The room was silent. She looked out at the faces in the crowd. She saw her mother in the back row. Her mother gave a small nod. Maya took one deep breath, and she began. She spoke about her life, about the broken house and the hungry nights, about her father who died and the promise she kept, about the dictionary and the moonlight and the market mornings, about what language meant to a girl who had nothing else. Her voice was clear. Her words were honest, and the room was completely still. When she finished, there was a moment of silence. 1 second, 2 seconds, and then the room erupted. People were standing, people were clapping, some were crying. Maya stood very still on the stage. She did not quite believe what was happening. The judges spoke quietly to each other. Then the lead judge stood up. He spoke into the microphone. "In 20 years of this competition," he said, "I have never heard a story told with such honesty and such courage." He paused. "The winner is Maya." Maya did not move for a moment. Then her legs went weak. She held onto the podium. She looked at her mother in the back row. Her mother had her hands over her mouth. Tears were pouring down her face. Maya walked to the front of the stage to receive her scholarship. The judges shook her hand. One judge leaned close. "You are extraordinary," he said. "Never stop." Maya nodded. "I never have," she said quietly. And she meant it. Maya went to university the following year. She was the first person from her small town to go. She studied language and education. She worked hard every single day. She called her mother every evening. She sent money home every month. She never forgot where she had come from. 4 years later, Maya graduated. Her mother and grandmother came to the ceremony. They wore their best clothes. Maya's grandmother was old now and walked slowly, but she walked into that hall with her head held high. When Maya received her degree, her grandmother stood up. She stood up in the middle of the audience. She clapped her hands above her head. She said nothing. She did not need to. After graduation, Maya did not move to a big city. She went home, back to the small town, back to the dirt roads and the green fields. She became an English teacher at the same small school where she had sat in the front row. She stood at the blackboard where Mr. David had once stood. She looked out at her students, small children in old desks, curious eyes looking back at her. On her first day, she reached into her bag. She pulled out 30 small dictionaries, one for every student. She placed one on each desk. The children looked at them. They did not know what to say. Maya stood at the front of the class. She said 10 words a day, just 10. And in 1 year, you will know 3,000 words. She smiled. She had heard those words before, and they had changed her life. Now it was her turn to pass them on. The children opened their dictionaries. The room filled with the quiet sound of turning pages. Maya watched them. Her heart was full. She thought about the little girl who had picked up an old book from the street, who had kept it under her pillow, who had made a silent promise to understand every word. She had kept that promise, and now she was giving every child in this room the chance to make their own. Maya never forgot the lessons life had taught her. She shared them with every student. She told them work hard even when you are tired. She told them study even when the lights go off. She told them ask for help and give help in return. She told them your beginning does not decide your ending. She told them never stop. And she always ended her lessons with the same words. The words her grandmother had said to her long ago in a small house with 2 rooms and 1 window. Keep going, little one. Keep going. The end. Thank you so much for listening to this story with me today. I hope Maya's story gave you something. Maybe it gave you hope. Maybe it gave you energy to keep going with your English. Maybe it reminded you that where you start does not decide where you finish. Stories like Maya's are happening all around the world right now. People studying with few resources, learning with determination, growing one word at a time. Maybe that person is you. And if it is, I want you to know something. Every minute you spend listening to English is a minute you are building something real, something that will serve you for the rest of your life. Do not stop. Come back for the next story, and if this story moved you, share it with one person today. Someone who needs to hear that hard work is always worth it. My name is Amelia. Thank you for learning with me. I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Goodbye for now.